my question is, how has beach nourishment affected Bournemouth Beach between 2007 and 2022? So the first objective of my project is to use Google Earth data to allow me to illustrate before and after comparisons of beach width. This will allow me to determine perhaps how nourishment has been applied in one area compared to another. This will also be corresponded with data from BCP Council. They have a website called twobays.net, which includes all of the data for beach management along the last section of beach. My second objective is to see how both physical and human factors have been affected by the beach nourishment that has occurred. Between June 2021 and May 2022, we had 11.7 million visitors to Bournemouth and Poole and Christchurch, obviously being now a unitary authority, BCP Council, contributing over £741 million to the local economy through visitor spending, hotel bookings, for example, all helping out our local business.
For my methods, I use Google Earth Pro's timeline feature to allow me to illustrate the high water line from 2022 to 2007. Then, along with this, I measured a 230 metre interval at 10 points along the beach from Bournemouth Pier down to Boscombe Pier, which then allowed me to set a baseline on which I could measure my high water line off at different years. This allowed me to analyse perhaps the busiest area of Bournemouth Beach. I know this from myself, from being a Bournemouth resident all my life, but also from looking at satellite imagery in the summer months on Google Earth Pro 2, we can see that there is obviously a larger influx of people between the piers in that time of year. Here we have all the results for measurements of beach width. The highest reading I measured was 78.28 metres at interval 7 in 2021, and the lowest was 20.01 metres at interval 9 in 2017. So what's important to note about all of these graphs is also where they correspond with beach nourishment events. So in the winter of 2006-2007, approximately 900 cube metres of sand was added to beaches between Boscombe Pier and Alum Chine. In spring 2016, approximately 80,000 metres cubed of material was deposited between both piers, and this was the first phase of the Poole Bay management scheme. In winter 2020 to 2021, approximately 350,000 metres cubed of material was deposited across beaches from South Borden to Poole. Includes 2 sections between the piers again, and this was part of the second phase of Poole Bay management scheme. From the period from 2022 to 2021, we lost on average 19.815 metres of beach from the sections between Bournemouth Pier and Boscombe Pier. Now, it can be argued for this period in which I've done my collection is that there is a possibility that this figure has changed. Obviously, with only one recording occurring each year and large amounts of variation constantly occurring on this beach, it means that my data is very prone to changing, as the beach is a fluid and dynamic environment. It's important to note that there is no longer a natural beach at Bournemouth, so there's no natural equilibrium in place. However, the groins help maintain the beach.
So the groins are currently being constructed and rebuilt stand as perhaps the main reason that beach renourishment takes place. Without these groins, there would be no reason to take apart it, as the sand that would be replaced on this beach would almost go instantly. So having this backup of groins is very important.
So when I speak of this sand going quickly, I mean over the space of a year or so. This means that with groins there, the council doesn't have the need to annually refresh beaches. It's also on a brief note that beach height and beach width have both increased since 2007, thanks to renourishment, as shown in the graph above. So as a consequence of the successful beach renourishment and the groins, we can see how certain things are protected by them. For example, the cliff, as shown in the drone footage here, is one of the many things that is protected from this. So we can see that it is made of a composition of clay and sand, therefore a soft material which would easily be eroded if there was no defence in its way. We can also see all of the hotel properties and residential properties on the top of the cliff, which are in a vital part of Bournemouth's tourism economy, which also have a land value which must be protected.
In this video, we hope to discover what the effects of beach nourishment were on Bournemouth between obviously 2007 and 2022. We found that beach nourishment is a very important factor, not only for the cliffs as you can see over in the corner, but also for the tourism side of it as well.
And as a direct consequence of beach nourishment, we can see how the cliff has been protected effectively and will continue to be done so through the use of the management plan that is currently in place, therefore protecting the businesses above.